Okay, I guess there was internet connectivity issue. So yes, as I was saying, if I could iterate it, if I could iterate through this task list programmatically, and I could find that okay, there is a chrome.exe name into this chrome.exe name into this task list, then I can easily say that then I can easily say that then I can easily say that student had opened his browser while he was sitting in exam. So basically, what we are going to do. So basically, what we are going to do is that we would create a software which let's say cheat detect. So when I am running my cheat detect, what I would do in while one loop, what I would do in while one loop, I would just keep on iterating, and I would see if I can find chrome.exe entry or any browser.exe entry in that file, in that task list. And if I found that, then I would easily say that yes, the student was cheating in his exam. Okay. So then again, tokenizing data, we would see where we would see about this when we go to actual code. Then again, capturing the list. So what would happen, suppose I say I found the entry of a web browser in my task list, and I say I would go to the student and I would say, oh, I have seen a browser's entry in your task list. Then I have seen a browser's entry in your task list. Okay, so we would just capture we would so we could do so what we could do so suppose student says that what is the proof that I cheated in my exam. So what I could do, I could capture a screenshot in real time that he was capture the screenshot in real time that he was cheating in an exam. So we can show him the proof that we have captured your screenshot, and then we can pen him down that yes, you were cheating in your exam. Then again, for external drive, so so what would happen for external drive? Okay, so let me just show you an example. So this is currently it's showing that there are two drives into my PC, right? So before starting the program, before starting the actual program, what we would do, we would count the number of drives which are originally present into my system. Okay, then suppose, so this is a pen drive. So suppose I plug in my pen drive, then you can see what would happen. A new drive would be created here. So again, in while loop, so before starting our program, that is cheat detection. Before starting our program, I would count the number of drives. So here the number of drives is one, a number of drives are two. So when we again go on, when we start our exam, then we will in while loop we will keep on checking the number of drives in real time. So suppose the original count was 2, right? Now suppose I have plugged in my pen drive, then now the count would become 3, and immediately I will come to know that as number of drives have increased, the the count is also, the student must have plugged in some sort of external hard drive into it. Okay, so if you don't get confused, we would again see the code for it, then the code for browser. Okay, so again the code we have written is in Java, and frankly, if you get overwhelmed by seeing this, it's okay, because most of the things you are seeing here, you can also find it on internet. All I need you is to get the basic logic behind this, and then you are good to go. So first line here gets you the runtime of your machine. So using that and that runtime is stored in this runtime object R. Now executing this function, that r dot execute, and inside we have given a string parameter which is a task list. Now what would happen, the entire task list we just saw on our cmd, it would be given to this process p object. Okay, so that's it. So what basically we are doing, using these two lines here, is that we are just capturing the task list and saving it in the process p. Okay, so the next few lines here is what we are doing. We are just converting the this process p into a string we name token. Okay, that's it. What we have done here, we have just captured the task list which we saw in our command prompt, and then again we have converted this process p, the process p object, into a simple string named token. Okay, so the output for the code would look something like this. So this is a single string. So suppose I search here, see, chrome, 1 second, suppose I search here for chrome, then you can see that I can see chrome.exe into my so as you can see, I can see chrome.exe into my output, right? Then again, uh, then again, if I search for age, then also I can see age.exe. So basically, all the web browsers which a student can open could be seen here. Okay, next. So so this is what the main code is. So we have generated our string, right? So we have generated our string, and now what we are checking, if that string contains all the web browsers name. If the string contains opera.exe, firefox.exe, chrome.exe, or msh.exe. So if it contains any of the web browser's name, this if condition would hold good, and the control will get passed into the main logic. So here we are directly printing that okay, he has opened the browser. That's it, right? Because we see the name of browser into task list, and that's it for us to confirm that he has opened a browser. So you don't actually need to bother about this code right here, because this is a robot class, and it's a library in Java to which helps you to capture screenshot of your machine in runtime. So you can just Google, if you want to implement this kind of service in your project, you can just Google that how to take a screenshot in using Java, and you would stumble upon this code. So we don't need to worry about this. So basically what we are doing, I'm repeating again what we are doing, we are capturing task list. We are seeing if in that task list we have the name of any of this browser, and then if we have that name of the browser, we are printing that someone has opened browser, and then and then we are capturing a real-time screenshot. Okay, basically, so that's it. That's the first part of our project, to detect if a student has opened a browser in the course of his practical exam. Okay, so don't worry, I would show you a demo of what we have built at the end of this. Okay, so this was the first part, and again we have to move to second part, that is the external hard drive. Okay, so yes, it's comparatively quite simple. As I have stated earlier, this old file root, what it would hold is that at the starting there are only two drives in my machine. So it would hold, so this variable would hold an array which would have two entry, which are the name of my drive C and D. So if we do old list root dot length, here the answer should be true. Okay, now as you can see, we are running this for infinite time till the practical exam is running. So so whenever a student plugs in a pen drive, then at real time this value would get changed and this value would become 3. Yes, okay, so this value would become 3. Now as 3 is greater than our original number of drives, that is true. We could easily say that the new drive was detected, right? So so that's it. That was that so there we created our project. So there we created a project. We didn't use any fancy technology, but yes, it solved a major problem that many of the colleges are facing. Let's so let me just quickly run the code which we had written. So basically we had created a front end, and the front end contained of a Java FX application, that is simple desktop application. And for admin we had created a website. So at the end of test he would get the entire report, that which student has opened browser and which student had new pen drive, had inserted a pen drive into the system. But unfortunately today I don't have code for my website, so I'm just printing the output here. But in real case, what we had built, all this was given to admin's portal. Okay, I hope that's clear. So let's run it. Okay, so this is the software which you have to, in ideal situation, this is the software which we have to log in before starting your practical exam. Now suppose I would give my roll number 20116 2016 BTE CS00049. Okay, and I would say start exam. So this is a little prompt which says best of luck and don't cheat on yourself. Now we have also disabled the close button. As you can see, if I click on the close button, it would say last warning, admin will get updates about that I was trying to close, and I was trying to close this. Okay, so yes, it started to capturing that browser is open, as you can see, because my Edge browser is right now open, and it has also captured the screenshot in proof folder. So the first functionality of our the project which we have created has been tested, right? And the image has been stored, and I will show you the image in little while. So now I'm inserting a pen drive into my system. I have inserted pen drive, and you can see a drive F has been detected. And again, so as I have kept the entire code in a while loop, kept the entire code in while loop. That's why it's showing that browser is open multiple times. Alright, if I show you, okay, I think I have opened it here. If I show you, so I have real time images here. So if some student asks that what is proof that I had opened my web browser, so you can show him this real time photos of his browser being opened. So yes, that's it. So suppose now the source code won't be given to the student, of course. So that's why he cannot close this window as well, right? Because if he could close this window, then actually what he's doing, he's shutting down the entire program, and we don't want him to shut down the program before the exam ends, right? So so that's why we had given this functionality. Now if I have to stop this, I would just click on here and I would say yes. Okay. Okay, so that was the little project, but still we have still we have two points to cover, right? What are the corner cases and what are the improvements and deployment techniques for it. So I promised you that I would say that there are many other ways you can cheat in your exam. Again, a disclaimer, I'm not suggesting that you should go and cheat in an exam. That is very harmful for your own career. So but again, you need to understand problem thoroughly if you want to give a solution for it. So other types I would like to say is FTP. College, our college host has an FTP server. So even if the college shut down its internet connectivity but keeps the Wi-Fi on, you can access this FTP and download files. A personal data server, what you can do, you can create your own data server on a free hosting site such as 000webhost.com. You can create your own data server and you can download files from data server directly. And and the most important thing of all is GitHub, right? So what you could do, you could upload your entire code on GitHub. You could upload your entire code on GitHub and you could directly download the files from your command prompt. You don't need to open your browser as well, right? So that's why now this would pass directly through our program, because we are detecting that files were downloaded or something was copied from web only when we open the browser. But now what we are doing, we are accessing this GitHub from our command line. Okay, so now we have to come up with another solution to tackle this problem. Okay, so if any one of you could come with it, you can feel free to share it with me. There is one solution. If anyone is interested, he or she can ping me. I would be happy to share that solution with them. Okay, then the next corner case would be, what if student closed our program? I think I just explained you that we had disabled that close button. And what if the student inserts the drive before the program start? So pen drive detection entirely, so see if you see the code, the pen drive detection entirely depends upon this line. So before starting this cheat detection program, how many drives are there in my PC? Now suppose before starting itself I have plugged in my pen drive, then this old list root would hold three entries, so this length would be 3. So if he keeps his pen drive connected throughout the exam session, then what would happen? 3 is not greater than 3, and uh, that's why you would never get an exception that he had entered a pen drive into your uh, he had never entered pen drive into the system. Okay, so the next are improvement and deployment. Now what we are doing, we have two Java programs, right? So so basically, could we use multi-threading here? Yes, we could. We have two Java programs, so we could create a single Java programs and use two classes, create threads for these two classes, and we could run them in time sharing fashion. So that would be more sophisticated approach. Again, the next point, again, you can't just run your Java code on machine manually, right? because because it would be very hectic, right? You have to give the source code to each and every student, so that is very harmful because they can change it right there. So instead, what we could do, we could create a front end and we could create a packed software, as I had shown you in the demonstration. You could create a desktop application for the entire thing, and you could install that desktop application on all the PCs, and you could create a portal for admin also. You could create a portal for admin also, so that he could easily get the reports so that he could easily get the reports of how many students or in what way they had cheated in their exam. Okay, again, the next point is the same. We could develop a website or desktop application. Okay, so these are all the steps I think all of you must follow during whatever projects you think you are choosing, whatever project you are choosing. Again, the one question which was mostly asked to me by a lot of juniors, that what is the trending technology today, so that we could learn that trending technology and we could build the project out of it. So I would suggest that don't even bother to run behind the trending technology, right? Because what would happen? uh, One second. Okay. So don't even bother about the trending technologies. So you have learned your core subjects in college, right? Networking Java, and OS. So I suggest you better go on building projects using that only, because you know those subjects thoroughly. You have spent almost 6 months learning that projects, right? So so instead of going through the trouble of learning all those new things, what you can do, you can just implement whatever you have learned in your courses. So even if suppose you go for a project which has ML in it, so what you would spend a month or say 15 days in learning basics of ML, and you would then use some libraries to implement your project. But do you think you would have the thorough knowledge of whatever technology you had used into that project? No, I don't think so. So what I would suggest, go for the core subjects which you have already learned. Try finding something which you can do using networking, operating system, or any system level courses that you have done. For example, I had a junior who had done a very impressive project. What he had implemented is that he had created a separate image processing library. So there are many image processing libraries, but in C there was no image processing library which used parallel programming paradigm. So what he did, he implemented a image processing library with parallel processing. So that was something new. No one had ever done it. And also he got to learn how parallel processes actually work on your system. And again, he had implemented each and every image processing function from scratch. So it was a win-win situation. You get to implement the things you have learned, and also you get to do something new which is not been done by anyone till now. Okay. um okay, so I think the first part, I'm done with the first part here. Then now hackathons. Okay, so big buzz has been created about hackathon in past couple of years. So when we were in first year, there was first Smart India hackathon which was held. And that was the first time I had heard about hackathon, like what hackathons were. And surprisingly, in 2016, in the first ever Smart India hackathon, the president of ACM Student Chapter, Yash Bele, won the second prize, I guess. So that was a huge thing, second prize. And yes, so I hope everyone know what hackathon is. But then to define it for the sake of simplicity, it is nothing but it is a competition where you are given a problem, or you are asked to choose your own problem statement, and you have to build something, finished product, which can be used by people in 26 hour or 36 hour, or even sometimes 48 hours. Okay. The question of the hour: why hackathon? So if you play your cards right, it is the most easiest money you could ever earn. Like, of course, I'm not saying that it's for free, that like anyone can win hackathon. But if you do right steps, then of course it would become very easy for you. And the money I'm talking about is not very less, because the prizes prices commonly range from 50,000 up to 1 lakh or 2 lakh, even 3 lakhs sometimes. So if you play your cards right, you can wheel hackathon yourself as well. And memories, oh, memories. I so if I'm going to tell you my own story, in third year second semester alone, me and my team had traveled almost more than 1500 kilometers throughout the nation for attending hackathon events, out of which we won three of them, and all three were major leagues. And uh, and apart from money, this would be a once in a lifetime memory building activity for you, because you have all six to eight friends with you. So each each uh, each hackathon has its own rule about the capacity of team. So basically there are 3 to 6 members for each hackathon. So when you travel around, so you travel for this long with your team, which are basically your friends, right? So you end up making more memory than you have created in your past 2 or 3 years. So it's like wonderful experience. It's in once in a lifetime experience. And uh, at least I am sure that I am never going to forget any single moment of every hackathon that I have attended so far. So I think these are the two most important motivation, and I think these are enough to attract you for participating in an hackathon. So yes, the general tips. So as I said, you have to build a solution for a real life problem. So to the first step to build any solution could be a website or could be an app. So I would suggest that first you should learn any one of the framework which are currently available in the market. May it be Django, may it be Spring, may it be PHP, Laravel. It doesn't matter. You just need to know one web framework. So why web frameworks are important? It is important because whenever you process your data, you just cannot show your data into your CMD, as I shown you the output of my task list, right? So you just cannot show your data on command prompt. So you have to build something which is user friendly, so that user can easily navigate through your solution, what you have developed. Okay, then the second is the most important thing: get yourself an awesome team. I was lucky enough to have Swapnil, Rohit, Kaivalya, Anuti, and Pranali into my team for all the hackathons we participated. So they shared the same level of enthusiasm which was in me, and all six of us were very fairly compatible with each other. So solving a problem, thinking of new approach, trying different ways was never hard. We enjoyed through the entire process. Then hunting for events all around the nation. So here's is a good part. So you are in Walchand, right? So Walchand gives you money for all the competitions you attend. Mostly there is no entry fees for all the hackathons, for most of the hackathons, to be frank. But suppose now our SIH was in Coimbatore. So college gave us all the money for traveling, food, stay, and also so why limit ourselves to Maharashtra? You can roam all across the nation for a hackathon, right? What it would give, it would not only give you your money if you win, of course, but uh, you would make many new connections. You would see what people around the nation are doing, and there are many industrial people in the event as well. You can learn hell ton of things from all of them. Okay. Then choose the problem which actually is a problem. So I would like to share an incident with you. I would like to share an incident with you. So what happened? We were exploring. So in SIs, what happens is that there are 350 or 400 questions from which you are allowed to submit your solution for five. I guess five or four submissions are allowed. So we were exploring all the questions, and we came across a question, and it was simply hilarious. So what the question was that you have to. So this question was posted by some electronic company which used to make drones, which used to manufacture drones. So the what the problem statement was that what the problem statement was, that you should create a drone, and it should have an camera. So what that camera would do, that camera, using image processing, would roam through a locality and would detect where there is garbage into that locality. Now, do you think, is this a real problem? No, because because whoever is going to sweep or clean that locality, even if he roam through that locality, he can see with his naked eyes that, okay, this part of the locality has garbage and I have to clean it. So what is the need to go through all the hard work, right? The build the drone, use image processing and all and all. So it makes no sense, right? So avoid choosing problems like this. So try to choose a problem which is actually problem, and after giving solution to that problem, you are benefiting the society as a whole. So try to choose problems in that fashion. Okay, then do your homework beforehand. So many times many times it's better to do your homework, right? So we as I stated, in third year we did a project called voting system on blockchain. So before presenting or before implementing that project into hackathons, what we did, we studied all the election, we studied all the scenarios where voting was done on internet, and we pointed out the flaws pointed out flaws into their approaches, and we tried to give solution to that flaws into our solution. So whenever judge asked us, okay, asked us ki, what new things have you implemented, then we had a backup, we had the answer that, okay, this Estonian country had once taken their elections online, and they had this problem, and we are providing solution to this problem in this way. So this would help you to show your novelty in your project as well. Okay, then experience. Okay, so last point is the most important point, most important point, which could help you largely in winning any competitions like hackathon. So experience is all that matters. So I would give you my own example. In second year, I saw a website called Stop Stock. I hope many of you are registered. So what the website is, that once you give your username, it would fetch your rankings and scores from all the coding platform, may it be CodeChef, Coreforces, and platforms like that. So I thought that, yeah, I could also build something like this. Then again, I went on Google, I searched for how to implement these things. I talked with my seniors. So someone said that you could do it using web scraping, right? So then I did a Udemy course on web scraping, and that entire course was in Python. So I think I was in second year that time, and I didn't know Python very much. So what I did, I saw a 50 minutes video of Python. I learned basics from that, and I started that course. Okay, so I ended the course, and it was very nice course on web scraping. And after that course, I actually wrote my entire logic of scraping the data from various website and clubbing them together in Python after the course. But again, as I said, you cannot just show your output on your console, right? So you cannot show your output in your console, right? So what would happen? So I had to create a website, but in second year I just knew PHP, but my logic was in Python, and I knew PHP. Then coupling between this Python and PHP was very difficult for me back then. So I again asked my seniors what to do. My senior said that there is a framework called Django. You could learn that, and in that you could write an entire website in Python. Okay, so I learned Django as well in matter of 2 3 days, and I implemented a and I implemented a website using Django and Python. As my main logic was in written Python. My main logic was written in Python. So basically, so this was my fun project. I didn't show it to anybody, and it was my fun project. And so by doing this, I learned Django. I at least learned basics of Django. Now, when we went for SIH, then some of us were knowing Spring beforehand. Some of us were knowing Django beforehand because of their own pet projects, which we individually did on our own. So because of which each of us had experience in at least one web programming language, or at least one framework. So when we actually went for the competition, there was a new challenge again. So we had to we the problem statement required that you have to create two servers, one of Python and one of Java, and you had to establish communication between those two servers. But as in our team we had people who had experience in Django and who had experience in Java. We could easily learn new things and easily establish communication between those two servers. And because of this, we were able to impress our judges. And this is the story of our hackathon, a Smart India hackathon. What I'm trying to say is that because all of us had some experience beforehand, it became easy to learn new things, grasp new things, and implement. And all this being done in just matter of 20, SH was 36 hours. In all these things was done into matter of 36 hours. Okay. So so just look around yourself. There are many problems that you can solve technological wise. Even if you don't find any problem beside yourself, you can always try cloning a big and powerful website made by Quora, Facebook, Instagram. uh, would it help the society in any way? No, because the original is still there. But it would help you very much. It would help you learn new things. And on the basis of these new things you learned right now, in future somehow these things would be used. Don't worry that okay, today I learned Django, but I don't know next year will I be using Django. No experience get wasted. Keep that thing in your mind. So once you have learned something, it would be beneficial in a way, in one way or another. Okay. So I guess that's it from my side. I would be taking questions from chat. So if you have any questions, please post it on the YouTube chat. Okay, so someone has asked, can you suggest recent problem statements? So again, I think you missed the point where I stated that just don't try to find new things or new trends which are currently famous in our market right now. Try to implement something on what you have learned so far. Try something on OS. See, try something to do in networking. So as I stated, we did a project on our blockchain. So we implemented blockchain all from scratch, right? So we created our own network. We wrote our own protocol, which also helped us to uh, to to explore the new things what we had learned earlier. So it gave us better understanding of all the subjects like networking. So yes, I would suggest uh, try building something from the courses you have already learned instead of running behind all those new technologies. Okay. uh, so someone has asked how to get started with blockchain project. Okay, so for blockchain there is a framework called Ethereum, if you know. But Ethereum, using Ethereum, you can build your project in matter of few hours, because all would be given to you in ready made. Because you don't need to create your own network, because Ethereum network would give you automatically a network created on the cloud, right? So uh, so instead uh, so instead of using that Ethereum, what you could do, you could you could create your own network. I'm guessing that as you are doing this project in college, you would having a group of three friends, so you basically have three laptops. You could create network between those three laptops, and you could try sending and receiving blocks, adding those blocks into local blockchain and all. So basically, you should read various blogs there are on internet. There are also various introductory introductory YouTube videos online which you can refer to. But basically, the main source of information, I would say, is from we got is from blogs, because we extensively read about blockchain in Medium. Medium is a great website to learn something new. And yes, all we didn't do any course per se, but we learned all those things by reading blogs and from YouTube videos. That's it. Okay. Someone has asked, what else do we need? Do we need deep knowledge of core subjects like OS, network, DBMS? Yes, I would say that yes, it's quite important to have deep knowledge of all these subjects. So this is because if your foundation is not strong, then you won't understand the internal working of whatever new things you would be learning, right? Suppose as I said, there is an framework for blockchain. If we had directly used Ethereum, we could have saved us lot of hard work, right? We could have developed a project in few weeks, but it wouldn't have taught us so much things which we had learned from developing everything from scratch. So yes, I would suggest that you should keep your core subject strong, because in interview as well, the interviewer will focus more on your core subjects rather than some fancy terms like ML, blockchain, web, and all. Okay, so someone has asked, according to you, which one is a good framework? Uh, so I have worked with Django. I have worked with Django, and I have worked with Spring Boot as well. So if you are proficient in Java, and if you feel that if you feel Java is good, then you can go for Spring Boot. But Django, on other hand, is fairly easy, because as I stated, I learned Django basics in matter of few days. Because so I'm not saying I'm expert in Django, but I know a few things of Django, and I can create a website easily in Django. So I would suggest that Django, or even Flask is uh, a good framework and easy to learn. And all the tutorials which you need, you could find those tutorials on YouTube itself. So you don't need to pay any extra money to buy the courses. Okay. Mm, I can see many of my friends spamming into chat box. I think we are past 1 hour. If there are any questions, I will wait a few minutes. Then we can wind up the session. Okay, someone has asked, what about Node.js? I haven't written a single line of code in Node.js, but what I have heard from other people is that Node.js is comparatively difficult from Django. So I don't know. See, honestly, I'm not the right person to ask that question, because I don't know Node.js. And what language is better to build project, Java or Python? So basically, it all depends on what your project is. But I would say Python has more community supports, and there are many things, almost all the things you can do in Java. Sorry, you can do with Python, because Python has library for almost everything. Again, you cannot say which one is better. You better learn both. You may not be expert in both the language, but you must at least know few basics of each language. Okay. uh, Rohit has asked any very nice question. So, uh, final pitching round. He asked about to share the experience of final pitching round. So, so how hackathon proceeds is that you are given 2 days, and there are multiple judging session within 2 days. We had, I guess, 3 or 4 judging sessions, and at the end they select few teams, and those few teams are then invited on stage to give the pitch. The pitch is nothing but a very small presentation, which is mostly 5 to 10 minutes long, and this is what decides your faith in hackathon. So if your pitch is good, then there is no doubt you would win hackathon. uh, so so uh, so while going up on the stage, while for giving a pitch, the things you should keep in mind is that you should point out all the new things which you think that you have implemented into your solution and others have ignored. Like, like I have given example about the blockchain. The For the global blockchain hackathon, almost every person into that room had used ethereum, and we were the only person who created our entire design from scratch. We had implemented our own protocols, and so that was a new thing, that was very new thing for the judges as well, because we were the only ones who had implemented from scratch. So that was our standing out point. So I would say, whenever you do a sale, you do a pitch, try to highlight the things which you think you have implemented in a newer way. Mm, mm, okay, I think it's 6:10. I think that's it from my side. Uh, and anyways, if any one of you have any questions, you can feel free to contact me. Uh, and again, if you want the code, again, if you want this code, you can just github and search Atharwa. I think I have uploaded this code on my github. So okay, that's it from my side.